Welcome back, terrestrials. In this episode, we are doing 1988's Nightmare on Elm Street 4. That's right. We're continuing the series. We're going to see it out um, because I want to hear Jerry's thoughts on the new one. And we have to do all of these to get to that one. So, with that being said, let's hop into the drive-in total or uh the video store totals. Um
Yeah.
Director Rennie Harlan. I mean, we all know it's the fucking video store totals, but or it's the drive-in totals.
Do we? Because apparently you know,
Yeah, well,
yeah, it's all
hey,
yeah, we're ripping off.
yeah, well, I don't think that
not
anybody
even
would have.
not even like, like the not
Let's
we're not doing the exactly what he does.
No,
So
we're not doing exactly what he does.
we're just
Anyways,
running down what this movie.
Darcy, tell us more about this movie. The budget is
Oh,
6.5 mil. The box office was 49, and there were 7 kills. And yes, there is nudity.
yeah, the most kills in a Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
All
So,
right, Jerry, what did you give this one?
gonna give it an A minus.
All right.
Yeah,
Uh, all right.
still good, still great. Probably, one of,
It's
like
top
this
four.
is, yeah, like, yeah. But no, this is like what you get when you do that. You don't do Nightmare on Elm Street 2. So, what did you
Right.
give it?
I think A minus is a fair assessment. I remember looking back on these, I remember disliking everything after three,
Right.
but four hit me, and I was kind of like, meh.
Still
I didn't
good.
hate, yeah, I didn't hate this one. I really enjoyed the Kincaid died. I don't like his
What?
voice. I don't like
What?
his voice. He's annoying. I'll say it. I don't care. Um, Everybody thinks it, but I'll say it. That's fine. And I'm glad Joey got it too, honestly, because the motherfucker got twice by the exact same thing, and he deserves
Even
it.
Freddy
So
was like, holy shit.
yeah, this guy is
It's the
so
same
easy to
thing.
get.
It's the
Yeah,
same thing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
like,
so fuck both of them.
yeah, definitely. I will definitely say that this one in particular, this is your MTV movie. This feels like MTV. Like I mean, Joey's watching MTV. Freddy is more lighthearted. Like this is getting very, very like comical
Mhm.
Freddy. This
Yeah,
is like, oh, we want to
yeah,
sell dolls now of Freddy Krueger. We want the kids to go to Halloween as Freddy Krueger.
right,
We can't make him a villain. We got
right.
to make him just like a silly guy who's, you know, happens to be murdering people, you know.
Yeah. Um yeah, they definitely lacking the darkness in Freddy of this one, but
Mm,
also not at the same time. I think
mm,
that this is where the scale starts to tip towards the popular version, or
yeah,
not the popular version, but the like the the MTV version of
yeah.
him. This movie felt like a lot of things to me. There was definitely certain part like Kristen
Kristen.
Kristen running up to meet the handsome hunk over and over and over again felt very Twilight Zoney
Oh,
to me.
Alice.
Alice, yes, sorry. And while she's doing that, it's playing this very like the visual style, like, so the idea behind it is very Twilight Zone. The visual felt unsolved mysteries almost,
Yeah.
and the sound was unsolved mysteries, so it was like a bunch of different movies in one. um it was very Last Action Hero, even though that came way after the
Yeah,
fact.
yeah.
But
Like I do like that scene because that
Mhm.
does feel dream quality. Like that
Mhm.
was the one thing that I thought was kind of kind of missing, where all the dream sequences except for a couple of moments kind of feel cartoony. Like if
Mhm.
Freddy Krueger was more of a cartoon, the
In
ideas
this
of
series or this one specifically?
in this one specifically,
Okay.
where it feels more cartoon than dream, where
Okay.
dream sequences, like, you can have that surrealism in a dream sequence, it has it in this, but it has like this, like like cocaine flavored fucking like idea, like, yeah, there's one girl, she turns into a bug, and then the one guy, he likes karate, so we're gonna have Freddy Krueger do karate, but not be Freddy Krueger, just be invisible karate.
Yeah.
So, and I can see those dream sequences, but like thinking of dreams, but
Mhm.
the repeating in a dream,
Mhm.
and like not realizing that you're just repeating the same thing over and over, that Freddy's keeping you there
Yeah.
in that loop.
Mhm.
And I liked that a lot.
I liked it a lot too. I thought so. That's kind of funny that you mentioned that because I kind of felt the opposite of this.
Oh yeah.
Like I've felt that you could definitely tell because she falls asleep in the theater, she falls into the movie screen or into the screen, the loop thing. I
That
feel
moment,
like
yeah, that was
I
good.
feel like they did a good job of being like, okay, this is clearly a dream.
Mhm.
Um, Also, we get to see what you had complained about in the other ones, or not complained about, but mentioned that you would like to see is the way they die in the real world.
That's my
Even
favorite
though it
death.
was super boring
It was
every time you
boring, but
saw it,
it
but it
makes
was
sense.
right. Like Kincaid, he just kind of looks like he dies of a heart attack.
Yeah.
Joey, he's drowned inside his
Drowned
mattress.
inside of a fucking, like,
Yeah,
oh my god, he's
yeah,
dead. Oh my god, how the fuck did he get
yeah,
in the water
yeah,
bed?
yeah.
Like the girl,
The nerdy girl
yeah,
that
let's suck
dies of an
face.
yeah, the asthma attack, like
And
all these,
that
yeah,
plays so perfect because we've established she has asthma, she
right,
has a condition,
right.
and Freddie uses that.
Mhm.
Now, explain to me what happened to the cockroach girl. Like, how did they like, because we don't see her anymore, so we can speculate as people, but like, her arms are, she turned into a cockroach, but what happened to the body
Well,
afterwards?
we obviously see in this movie that nothing goes out of the ordinary in their deaths in the real world.
Right.
It's meant to look like they just died. Curiously, yes, because what like Kristen says, like what uh or not Kristen, the badass chick, the hottie, says is like what
Uh,
17-year-old
Deborah,
dies, maybe.
maybe.
Uh the what 17-year-old dies of an asthma attack or
Yeah,
something like that. So like yeah, there's something wrong there, but also it's not out of the realm of possibility. Kincaid, he's a little bit chunkier, he might have died that way. Who
right.
knows? So I imagine that if they were to show her die in the real world, she would have died with the weights like this or something,
Yeah, maybe
you
like
know?
choking on,
Yeah.
yeah, friggin'
So they all kind of make sense. I don't really know how they planned out Karate Boy. Um, he was super like I liked his character. I liked the writing of his character.
yeah, the
Like
brother.
karate guy, he's kind of fun. That guy was like, let's dress him like Christian Slater and make him act like Judd
Yeah, we
Nelson.
can't get Christian Slater, so
Yeah, like let's spike his hair up like Gleaming the Cube, and then let's make him act like Bender from Breakfast Club. Let's just
yeah.
make him make facial expressions like Judd Nelson and be weird. And then I think he might have started the Naruto run,
Mm.
where he puts his head down and runs like that, and because he ran with his head fucking facing the ground like every single time he ran. It was the most annoying thing. I was like, who didn't
Yeah,
say, "Hey, cut, can I talk to you for a second? Do
yeah.
you actually run like that?" like, and he when he's talking to Rick, the hunky guy or whatever, or maybe his
Dan.
name Dan, yeah. um and then he runs off after Alice,
Yeah.
or he's yeah, he's just like like,
And
you're
it's
not
only
a
like 10
40,
feet away.
yeah, yeah,
Like
it's
it's just
not a
like
40-yard dash, dude, like,
yeah, it's like
relax, man.
all right, you got to do this quick because we only got 10 minutes left on the film and stuff. He's like, okay, I don't know,
Yeah.
Dan.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. It was so fucking there.
calm down.
Those things were hilarious to
Right.
me.
I did like his dream sequence where he falls asleep taking a shit. And then like the cheerleaders come in and there's like all types of like weird imagery. Like
Mhm.
they hit some good marks in
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just that it it was cartoony feeling in some parts, or it was MTV feeling where it was made for that MTV crowd instead of, it was for the generation that was there, the MTV crowd,
Naturally.
not for the dark horror surreal, like the first movie was made or the
Yeah.
second or the third,
Right.
it's like nope, we're in MTV land. So
Yeah. Yeah.
brighten
They
it up
definitely
and
aimed it at their audience,
yeah,
of like just young people in general in America
right.
at that time. Um, yeah, I think that the movie is a lot better than I remember, and it's a lot better than I had ever given it credit,
Cool.
because I'm old enough to realize, like, though there's those silly things in there, like his run and his face, and there's really good things, like the loop was super creative, falling into the theater was super fun. And then, you know, the idea that this girl is, well, number one, uh they changed they changed the actress. Obviously, Patricia Arquette's not in this
Right.
one, which, by the way, what the fuck was she doing? um why wouldn't you just take the second role, like, whatever?
It's
um
the Johnny Depp. No, is it Johnny Depp? Where no, because Johnny Depp comes back. I forget who it is. Maybe Kevin Bacon, where they did horror once in their early career because it's an easy job, and then when they got super popular or famous and
well,
stuff,
Kevin
they're like, I'm
Bacon's
not gonna.
back now,
Right.
but yeah, yeah. But they do this thing where, like, they change her. Obviously the actor changes, but they they kill her off and give somebody else her powers.
Yeah.
Like, when did when did we admit that you had superpowers? Like, this was just a weird thing that you could kind of do that nobody believed. That initially was
Yeah.
the thing. And then now you have a superpower
I
that
can
you,
bestow upon you my
yeah, you're gonna,
superpowers.
she literally says, you're gonna need my powers,
Yeah.
and then gives them to her. And then everybody that dies, she's collecting them like Shang Tsung.
Yeah.
She's just collecting souls. And I was like, what the fuck is that? But it's, it makes the movie more interesting. It makes her like,
It makes the movie because
well,
if we
yeah,
just were like no, we're doing a regular Freddy Krueger movie because the whole thing with the last one are those were the last of the Elm Street kids,
right.
and so now because you know I guess Freddy didn't kill her, he was waiting for her to pull someone in,
Mhm.
with her magical abilities to give to say, okay, now I can go after all of the people she pulls in, kind of
Yeah,
like
I mean, she definitely serves up
like a
Kincaid.
bottom feeder, he's just
Right. Well, yeah.
yeah, I'm waiting for you to fuck up so I can take what I want, even though
Yeah. And he even does it to the Alice girl, where he's like, "Okay, I'm done with you. You
yeah,
brought me somebody else, I'm done with you."
your
And
shift is
then
over, right?
yeah. But all those ideas that, like, seemed really, they are silly, but they also, like you said, make the movie, because we see Alice evolving through each soul that she takes, which kind of makes her the bad guy. But if she was the same, like, uh uh not, well, I'll just scaredy cat, for lack of a better term, like,
Yeah. She's the
then
Mary Sue at the beginning,
right,
like
yeah,
the
she would just,
pure and
when
innocent
the
girl.
Yeah,
You
it
know,
just wouldn't have been the same movie.
like
That's
I
all.
know my dad's a drunk and he's abusive, but I still
Yeah.
got to make him the shitty macaroni and cheese. You know,
What a shitty dad.
yeah,
That guy sucked
yeah.
so bad. Um, yeah, just Joey deserves to die. I'm so mad at him for getting got twice by titties. Um,
Do you think? Okay, Kincaid. He has a dog, and the dog's
that
name is
was
Jason, and the
I think
dog's and Jason. The dog is white with black spots. Do you think that was just a dig at Friday the 13th?
yeah, and I also think that there was a little bit of play because Jason digs up Freddy.
Yeah.
So I
Jason pisses fire on
onto
Freddy.
yeah onto Freddy's bones.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that there is something there. Will we ever know? I've not researched the subject. If people
No.
know, let us know in the comments.
Because
But
everybody knows that Freddy Krueger won the war. You know, I made less movies and more popularity. More people like Freddy Krueger. More people probably have Freddy Krueger tattoos. And, like
we know
who
one person with a Freddy Krueger tattoo.
I know, but I've seen a lot of like Freddy fans, but you rarely see like
I know more people with a Jason mask than I do a Freddy
correct.
anything.
It's a easy, even though I do want one of those $150 Freddy Krueger gloves with the real metal and the actual glove and shit. God, I
Uh,
want one of those things so
I saw
fucking
one of
bad.
those EB games a long
Yeah,
time ago, long time ago. Because like in a case and
yeah,
shit, and I was like, but
yeah.
you
I
can get
want
one
one.
off of Etsy. Uh, but yeah, I think that there was something behind that. I don't really know what it was.
No,
Uh, this movie doesn't really end. There's no like
no, it
wrap
just
up.
gives up.
Yeah. It just kind of like it. They release they release the souls or whatever, and they leave Freddy as like this withering thing, but
Yeah. Ah, oh no, all the souls. Like,
yeah,
is that
it's
the
like the
new
tree
thing in
from
this?
Ernest.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Ernest Scared Stupid.
that feels like the new thing in this, where has Freddy been always collecting their souls? The
I
first movie
mean,
was just about
since
him getting
three,
revenge on the fuckers that burned him, you
right?
know. The second one was him trying to kind of like
Possess.
rebuild the Freddy Krueger name. The third one was like, oh, there's still fuckers living on the street. Let me go take care of them,
Mhm.
And this one, it's like, no, I need souls, you know.
Well, I think so. This one, he had souls in three. He shows them in the boiler room. But
Oh, that's right.
he he this one it seems like all right. I finished off these kids, but she gave her powers to her, so I'm just going to keep killing people. But I need like the only people that knew about me, I just killed off. That's Kincaid, Joey, and Kristen. So now I need Alice to spread my fear
Right.
into the new generation or the other kids that don't know about me, and then I can continue killing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure how the souls play into it, but I know he needed them initially to release a new set of fear
Right. Right.
to run rampant. Um, yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why he collects souls.
It was just something in the writer's room. I really do think like you can
Or
put
he maybe because he does make sorry to cut you off. He
no,
does
it's
make
fine.
the reference in three, I think, when he opens up his sweater and he goes, "These are all my children." So
Right.
maybe that's how he collects
He's
them.
collecting them,
You know,
I guess. But even like, okay, fuck, I don't remember where I was going originally.
you know what just made me really sad
The
when you
NASCAR
were
thing?
no
Oh,
NASCAR makes me sad, but the when you were like people go to these movies for Freddy Krueger, I was like, oh, I'd go to see Jason, and then I was like, oh, Jason's dead.
we can. They're
This is
all dead
1980.
technically.
No, I'm talking about the dog.
Oh
Like
yeah,
it's
the
still
dog.
from 1988. There's no way
Yeah,
that
that
dog's
dog
still
probably
alive.
passed away a long time ago.
But it was a beautiful dog.
It
That was the whole
was.
point.
It's
Border
that was a good
collie.
dog. Fucking. But I always geeked out about that about the dog being called Jason.
Yeah,
It's
and
like
it was
that's a
very
fucking
obvious. Yeah,
dig. You know it is
yeah,
because
yeah, for sure.
I think in '88.
They were
I
on
don't know
like
which one. I think that's
four by now,
6.
3 or 4.
I think it's
88,
6.
6. Jesus.
Yeah. I think
Okay.
that's the one where the Tommy Jarvis is going through camp. Um older Tommy where he's not like in a mental institution anymore, and he can talk and it's like it's the one we say is the worst, you know.
Let me look. 1988 is 7.
7. Okay. So,
Yeah, 7.
yeah, that's the one with Jason versus Carrie.
Yeah, the dope one.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Five,
even
six,
though
seven.
I've seen fucking the behind the scenes because the director of that one was a special effects artist
Yeah.
and he has so many awesome fucking kills and the MPA just slashed and burned.
I think that's the majority of Jason movies.
Well,
They
yeah.
really they really fucked him over because we I watched the behind the scenes because I was using DVDs on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's annoying, but
That's what kills me about these 80s horror movies is that they were so neutered. Like
they were.
Freddy, because it's whimsical. I mean, like Jason doing the throat slash or the
Mhm,
choke, and then just or like the stab.
mhm,
uh, Freddy has he takes his glove and he cups his hand and he does that roundabout and he like uppercuts the blades in their stomach. If you
mhm.
look at he does that like 4 times,
Yeah.
I think in all of his movies, and it's such a cop out compared to like you know
I mean, you can
turning a
only
girl into a cockroach
yeah, well,
or let's suck face.
yeah. Also, we know he's a pedophile, but he's kissing a high school girl and probably a young one. So I guess that's right up his alley. It's very weird sciency. You get away with that shit in the 80s, I guess, but
Right. That girl was actually 32, so
well,
it's fine.
naturally, but yeah. She's the only one that I
She
would
had
believe was actually underage and they happened to pick her.
really?
No, 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 no. I
Okay.
don't think so.
Um
Um, but yeah,
Shit, Alice at the beginning of this movie looked like a fucking middle schooler that was just old enough, you know. She had like that grease hair and she's holding her books like,
yeah. Well,
fucking
yeah, I mean that's just they try to make it seem like that.
right.
Um, but yeah, I don't know, man. This one was a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
It's still
Um,
fun. Like that's what Freddy Krueger movies are. They're
right,
fun.
right.
They're a
I
fun
think
house.
I think that they overcorrect in 5 though, if I'm not mistaken. I think they hit the story hard because I know in number 5 there's like the pregnancy and then there's like the nuns reappear and it's more of like they show clips of the like insane asylum. Go ahead, just say it.
Hmm.
Just use the
I
words.
am going to disagree, but we will talk about that when we get to five.
I don't remember any of these because I watched them
Ugh.
through the pandemic. That's the last time I saw them. But I want to say that they tried to go more like, let's dive deeper into Freddy.
Right.
And I if I remember correctly. But yeah, I think
Give
that
them a backstory, give
yeah,
the
they
mother a
overcorrect with
backstory.
this shit.
Yeah. I know I think it was Peter Jackson. Peter Jackson was supposed to direct fucking I think 5. And it was called like The Dream Bride.
Hmm,
And it was supposed to be like I guess something with the wedding and shit,
yeah.
kind of because like Beetlejuice had come out like
Mhm.
a previous year and shit.
Right.
So, but that's all I know about it. Um, but yeah, I will say that's the one thing about Freddy, Freddy versus Jason. Jason movies are, you know, once again, the sex, drugs, and rock and roll. and they're fun for a different reason. They're fun for just splatter effect, you know.
Yeah.
They're fun for, you
They're the
know,
epitome of slasher.
right. They are the epitome of slasher. That's a good one. But Freddy movies are just kind of like because they have that, you know, in some parts they're dark, some parts they're cartoony. Freddy Krueger has one-liners. Let's suck
Right.
face. Fucking you're Rick, you're a little meatball in this one, and then he eats the meatball and it's disgusting, and it's just
Yeah,
like,
it is gross. It's
yeah,
grossy.
that's
It might
what
be
you
the
want with
grossest
Freddy.
thing
Yeah.
in all of them.
Leanna
I
Quigley's in this movie. Did you notice her?
I don't think I did.
You didn't?
Was she in
Did,
the theater?
no.
Okay, then no.
It was the scene where the things in Freddy's chest are bursting out, and there's you see a pair of tits pop up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, that
and
makes
that
sense.
was she was the pair of tits.
Oh, naturally.
Yeah,
God, I wish people would give her some other job.
and she
Um,
would have been a great like. Oh, she should have been fucking like, you know.
they could have literally replaced Debbie
Yeah,
with her as Spider from Slimeball, and it would have been the movie would have been
yeah. Instead of an older
elevated.
brother, she has an older sister that does
Right,
kung fu and fucking,
right,
you
yeah.
know, is
Because
dating
she would
fucking
have crushed that shit.
right. Um,
Missed
yeah,
opportunity. Rewrite it.
rewrite it. Yep. Fucking, you know, and then at the end, it's, you know, Freddy gets away and her and Leanna Quigley are like on motorcycles and they're like, we're gonna go get Freddy. And then they got shotguns and shit, you know.
Naturally. Yes, yes.
Uh, but yeah, let's see. Fucking, do you think, because this is the body kill movie, this one has the most kills than anything.
Yeah,
Usually, normally
it's not
there's
even noticeable though.
3 kills, but it feels like there's a bunch of like fast-paced kills. Like Kincaid, Joey, and Patricia Arquette's character die really fucking quick. And
I
like,
feel like they just had number one had to kill them, and then they also had to get them
excuse
out
me.
of the way.
Yeah, they just it was just like, all right, get these fuckers out of the. But instead of like,
Which I can appreciate. Thank you for wrapping that up for us.
yeah, yeah, like in 4 seconds and shit. And then like I think the brother, they
He was
just didn't
fast.
know what to do with him. So
Yeah,
like they were just like, oh, we're gonna just kill you off, you know. And they didn't have it down, and they had to improvise that whole kung fu thing.
yeah,
And like that's just how they did it. That's why Robert England isn't on set,
yeah,
you know, because they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. So
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think they didn't really have a whole lot thought out in this one because
right.
like Kincaid and Joey and Christy, they all make sense. Karate Boy, he makes sense in the idea that yes, he was into karate. Cockroaches have nothing to do with nothing. I don't know why.
She didn't like
Uh,
bugs. She was eating the
oh, that's
nachos
right.
and then
That's
she
right.
dropped
That's
it.
right.
Ew,
Oh,
she didn't
okay.
like
Well,
bugs.
never mind then. They all kind of make a little bit of sense.
Yeah.
Jerry, would you like to see this movie in theater? Go ahead.
Jacob, is this a cult classic?
Yeah, I mean, by definition, yes.
Yes, by definition, this is a cult classic. Jacob, would you go to the theater to see this?
I think if it was in a double feature with number three, then yeah.
If it was in a double feature, that would be really good. But I think this is the perfect one for the theater because it's more bright. It's more, you know, it's more of a
Good point.
theatrical style movie, you know, whereas like the second one, I think there would be a lot of times where you're like, you know, like as horror fans, yeah, we're interested and involved watching it on VHS, but seeing it in a theater in the second one, you're just gonna be like,
Yeah, I also feel like this is one that you don't necessarily have to know what's going on to
right,
enjoy.
yeah,
So this would be like, hey, have you ever seen them? No, let's watch this one.
yeah, who cares about Kincaid? And
Right, right.
they explain
Who
that
are they?
your
They're from the last
friends are
movies. Who cares?
spooky, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
like You
Yeah.
know, we don't know what they went through if you've never seen the third one,
Right.
but we learn everything, you
Yeah.
know, like those are
We
her friends from another
Well, they
time.
even say like, "Stop bringing us into your dreams. That shit's over." Like
Yeah.
blah blah blah. So let's try to live
You
our
stop
own
bringing
lives.
us in your dreams.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
God, this fucking voice. But yeah,
um, all right. Physical copies.
yes.
All right. And remake. Just this. If they brought Freddy Krueger for or they made the trilogy, so that would be the Krista to Allison saga.
So
Starts with
you
Krista,
want,
ends with Allison.
but that's only two movies. It's not Saga.
The fifth one would be part of that saga.
Oh, would it? I don't know. I don't remember that one.
Okay.
Um, no, I think that this one would play well as a
Standalone
remake.
remake.
Yeah, just stand alone. You can cut Christy and them motherfuckers out. Like you don't
Just the
need
birth
them.
of Alice, like
Yeah, you
Alice
could
in
just
Wonderland, but Alice in Freddy Land.
yeah, I mean, well, you could make like reference to it, like
Right.
a quick like, oh, this is what happened. Now we're here kind of
Right.
thing. Yeah, I think because of it being that MTV style, they could remake it. They could go like a very gritty Hills Have Eyes remake style and just make it like brutal as fuck. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so too. I think you say, brutal and gritty, but I think almost like how like Stranger Things and what did you watch? Fear Street?
The Fear
I
Streets,
think
yeah.
if they would adapt that, but
I could,
put
yeah.
the Freddy Krueger in that type of, in the modern kids
Mhm.
in today's world, and
Yeah.
then Freddy Krueger.
Yeah. Then you lose all the one-liners
Um,
because you can't be like suck me bitch and she'd be like excuse me.
yeah, that, that
uh
that would make it great and stuff.
no, that's just
Like,
the Chucky TV show.
welcome to
They're
prime
already
time, bitch.
you
Don't call
can't
me a
call
bitch.
me bitch. Yeah, no, fuck no. That's the Chucky show. They've cornered the market on that. They're making it
Fuck.
funny. They're doing a good job at it. Just let them have it. I'm okay with it being like today. I'm okay with it being bright, but you gotta let Freddy be Freddy. And I don't think that they would let Freddy be Freddy. So the safe bet is to go dark with the shit.
I think so too. I
In my
mean,
opinion.
especially the idea because
Point of
Robert
privilege.
Englund, like, he doesn't want to get in the makeup anymore, probably. But we could create, like, Freddy could technically be anything out there. So you could have Freddy Krueger be anything and just get Robert Englund to do the voice,
True.
and I
Oh,
think it would be great.
they kind of went that route with the
Mhm.
remake. So
Yeah, but fucking you got that guy fucking looking like
he wasn't bad. They just didn't do a good
it
job
was
on the makeup.
fucking what was his name? Teddy Krueger. I'm Freddy Krueger's little brother, fucking thanks, Phalis, you know. So
But yeah,
yeah.
that's Nightmare 4.